This matter is before the Employment Opportunity Commission, Miami District Office. This is the matter of Kirk D. Tostigi versus Patrick R. Donahoe as Postmaster General, U.S. Postal Service Agency. The case number is 1G336002111 before Administrative Judge Kimberly A. Greenleaf. This is the deposition of Christina Ramirez. Today is Thursday, April 12th, 2012. It's 9:43 in the morning. At this time, I'll ask the attorneys and parties to please introduce themselves.
Anthony Statuto, representative for Kirk D. Tostage.
Dana Morris, United States Postal Service representative.
And please raise your hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Mr. Ramirez, I will be asking you questions that will be taken down by the court reporter. The court reporter can't take down nods, gestures, or shakes of your head, so it's necessary for you to answer the questions out loud, all right?
Okay.
If I ask you to stop speaking so that we may continue on, I respect that you would do that, okay?
Okay.
Do you understand that you were administered an oath by the court reporter and are testifying under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Do you understand that your testimony has the same importance and significance it would have if you were testifying in a court before a judge and jury?
Yes.
Please state your name.
Christina Ramirez,
Please state your employer.
United States Postal Service,
What is your title?
Safety Specialist,
How long have you been a safety specialist?
since September '09.
Okay. Did you talk to anybody concerned in this deposition today?
Only our attorney.
Okay. Did he go over maybe some of the questions you might be asked today?
He really didn't know, so what questions we were gonna?
Did he coach you on any of the answers?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Okay, we'll move on. Have you ever been formally trained in noise level testing?
Formally, no.
Where did you learn how to perform noise level surveys?
I read the manufacturer's book that came with the instruments.
In this book, did it instruct you how far to place the meter away from the noise source?
Not that I recall.
Is that a yes or a no?
No.
She's answered the question. She does not recall.
What is the difference between time-weighted average and L average?
Pardon me?
What is the difference between time-weighted average and L average?
I don't know what L average is.
Okay. Did you perform a sound level survey on June 10, 2011 at the Tampa Processing and Distribution Plant?
I believe so.
Who asked you to perform this June 10, 2011 test?
I believe it was a maintenance supervisor.
Do you have a name?
I don't remember who it was. It was a maintenance supervisor at the Tampa plant.
Okay. I'm going to give you page 262 of the ROI for the CEO. Looking at page 262 of the ROI, please answer the following questions. Was this test measured in time-weighted averages?
As far as what, 8 hours? Can you clarify?
Was the test measured in time-weighted averages?
I don't understand your question. Time-weighted average would be 8 hours.
Okay. Was it reported in L average? This
I don't know
test?
what L average is,
Okay.
so I can't answer that.
Was all the equipment in the P&DC turned on for this noise level survey you conducted?
It states on here whether it was running or not.
Did you list the time durations of the readings?
No, I did not.
Okay. Why did you measure noise levels in the tax office, room G105?
Because the supervisor of maintenance asked me to, because some maintenance person works in that office.
Okay. Do you remember who the supervisor was?
No,
You don't know who specifically asked you to test the tax office?
I don't remember who it was. It could have been one of 3 people, but I don't want to give you a wrong name.
Okay, so who'd you write this letter to that's in front of you?
This went to MMO Conrad Johnson,
Okay. Why'd you write it to Mr. Conrad Johnson?
because he's the manager on tour 2.
Who's Mr. Doug Diaz?
He is the lead maintenance manager.
Okay. Did Mr. Conrad Johnson request this test to be done?
It could have been him, it could have been somebody else.
Was the tax office, room G105, the lowest reading out of the 13 tests you ran?
According to this,
Are you aware that just 13 measuring points in a 250,000 square foot building equates to around 1 measuring point per 19,000 square feet?
no.
Okay. Are you familiar with CFR 1910.25?
If I have it in front of me, I could read it.
Okay. Let me refer back to page 262 of the ROI. At the bottom, your last sentence. Please read that out loud.
As you can see from the above readings, a hearing conservation program is not required. If you should have any further questions, please feel free to contact.
This was with 13 readings in the Tampa P&DC, correct?
I didn't count them, but it looks like that.
Only 13 readings. I got 13 readings, and there was no hearing conservation program required. What was the reason?
None were over 85 dBLs for 8 hours.
That was in roughly 250,000 square feet in the Tampa P&DC, correct?
I don't know how many feet that is.
Do you know how big the Tampa P&DC is?
No.
The 13 areas that you took readings in, you've already answered the tax program in room G105. A supervisor in maintenance told you. The other 12, why did you choose those areas?
Some of them I was asked to. Others, I just took them when we were walking by.
Okay. We'll go to OSHA document. OSHA, March 5th. Okay. I'm going to hand you a March 5th, 1990 letter from the Corporate
Okay.
Safety Director, Mr. Jerry Ingram, or to Mr. Jerry Ingram. Okay. Did you notify any of the affected employees before you did the June 2011 noise survey?
No.
Okay. Please read the highlighted.
Can you clarify, what do you mean affected employees? Affected like the people that work in that area?
Yes.
No, there was a running tour. There would be
Okay.
a lot of people.
Can you please read the highlighted area out loud?
The Occupational Safety and Health Administration interprets the provision to place a requirement on employees to inform affected employees or their representatives of all pending noise measurements relating to complying with the OSHA, with the Occupational Noise Exposure Standard. Otherwise, affected employees or their representatives may not know about noise measurements before they take place and therefore lose the opportunity to observe the process.
Did you follow this requirement?
I didn't read this whole thing.
Okay. I'll take back that sheet. The OSHA sheet. I'm going to give you a letter from Mr. Paul Bernici sent on February 15, 2012. Who is Mr. Bernici to you?
Nobody.
Okay. For the record, I'm giving Ms. Ramirez a letter dated February 15th. The letter was sent by Mr. Paul Bernici of the U.S. Postal Service. The letter is addressed to Mr. Tostage and is in reference to the X-Tech 407762 dosimeter Ms. Ramirez used on June 10th, 2011, to determine that a hearing conservation program is not required at the Tampa P&DC. Did you calibrate the X-Tech 407762 on the day of June 10, 2011, when you performed the sound level surveys at the Tampa P&DC?
Nope.
Do you believe the noise level test results are still valid since no calibration was performed on the X-Tech 407762 meter?
As far as I know, yes.
Are you familiar with this February 15, 2012 letter Mr. Bernici sent to Mr. Tostage?
Nope.
As of today, are you aware that all noise level meters must be calibrated before each test for that test to have integrity?
Am I aware of it? No.
As of today, do you believe the noise level surveys performed on June 10, 2011 had integrity?
As far as I know, yes.
Did Mr. Bernici discuss this letter with you?
No,
Did Mr. Bernici ask you anything
no, he did
in
not.
reference to the letter?
He did not.
Who did?
As far, this letter? Nobody, I didn't see it.
We already... Okay. Mr. Ramirez, the following questions will be in regards to the X-Tech 40762 User's Manual. Please answer yes or no to the following questions. Did the manual tell you how to map out the sounding sites?
Not that I'm aware of.
Did the manual tell you how many feet you held the meter, that you had the meter had to be from the sound source?
No,
Did the manual tell you how long to take each reading?
no,
Did the manual tell you to make sure all equipment in the plant was running?
no,
Did the manual tell you to make sure all equipment in the plant was running? No. Did the manual tell you how to calibrate the X-Tech 407762?
I didn't have the manual for that.
Okay.
EX Tech 2. I did not have the manual.
I'm going to go to an OSHA Appendix 3A-2 calibration. I'm going to present to you that document.
Okay.
Can you read out loud the 3 highlighted areas on the document I just gave you?
Appendix 3A-2 calibration. All instruments must be calibrated according to the manufacturer's instructions to ensure measurement accuracy. 29 CFR 1910.95 D2 II. A calibration should be performed before and after each day of use and whenever the temperature or relative humidity changes significantly.
Do you still believe the June 2011 noise level survey has integrity?
As far as I know,
Even though you did not calibrate the meter?
no, I didn't calibrate it.
Would you agree some employees move around the P&DC, the Tampa P&DC during their tour?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Their work assignment is not always stationary, correct?
Depending on the person.
I'm going to take that back.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to hand you a February 1st, 2011 OSHA standard number 1910.25D 1I and 1910.95D 1II. Can you read the standard numbers for me?
Which one do you want me to read? The one that's highlighted or both of them? Sorry.
Which one? Oh, you're on the A3 calibration? Yeah, can you read the highlighted area, please?
Paragraph D1II states, where circumstances such as high worker mobility, significant variations in sound level, or a significant component of impulse noise make area monitoring generally inappropriate, the employer shall use representative personal sampling to comply with the monitoring requirements of this paragraph, unless the employer can show that area sampling produces equivalent results.
Can you tell me what representative personal sampling is?
Only from what I interpreted.
Can you tell me what representative personal sampling is?
From my interpretation, exactly what I did. Taking various samples throughout the facility.
Okay. Did you comply with the representative personal monitoring requirements as stated in the paragraph you just read?
As far as I interpret it, yes.
Do you still believe the June 10, 2011 test you administered to have integrity?
Yes.
You stated that the Tampa P&DC doesn't need a hearing conservation program, correct?
That's what I stated in this letter.
Yet the machine that you used wasn't even calibrated that day.
I never calibrated it.
Do you have any timestamps with your, associated with your 13 samples?
I don't know what timestamps are.
How many employees are in the Tampa P&DC?
How many employees?
Roughly.
I couldn't even tell you. Maybe, I don't know, maybe a couple hundred, several
Couple
hundred.
hundred? Would it be greater than 500?
Probably.
Okay. Greater than 1,000?
I don't know.
Okay. So somewhere between 500 and 1,000. These 1,000, let's say between 500 and 1,000 employees, depend on OSHA standards set for this noise level testing done by you, correct?
They depend on it? I'm not sure if they depend on it. Is it a requirement to do sound level testing? Don't know.
The
How do
13,
they depend on it? I'm not sure what the question is. Like, how
the
could they
13
depend?
tests that you performed that day,
Okay.
why didn't the Tampa P&DC need a noise hearing conservation program?
Well, I didn't need it because none of these showed that it was over 85 dBAs. And over 90,
What's over
we would
80?
do an 8-hour testing.
An 8-hour testing. What's over 85 dB considered?
Decibel levels.
What's over 85
That's
dB considered?
OSHA standards.
For what?
Time weighted average, 85 decibel levels.
What would it be considered over 85 dB?
What do you mean, what would it be considered?
Low?
If there was,
Medium noise?
then you would do a little more testing.
Would it be considered low noise, medium noise?
No, that would be the OSHA standard to do further testing. if
Would it be
was 8
considered
hours.
hazardous?
I don't know that.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to suspend this deposition with Ms. Ramirez at this time.
I have no
Any
questions.
questions?
No.
It's 10 o'clock. We're
What's your
going off
name
record.
anyway?